that shit up.
Welcome back to Cincy Stripes. It's your boy Colton and me, Jordan. I'm gonna try not to crash out too hard on this show as free agency is not going the way that
Zeitler just got signed
anybody wants it to
by
go.
the Titans. Callahan still our guy.
$9 million,
maybe not our guy, but
super. I don't want to say super cheap, but
one of our guys that could
doable for us.
Yeah,
we have
for
money.
Like 1 year, and then
I tweeted yesterday. Money ain't really in the NFL. It's just depending on what you want to do with the money you have.
For sure.
I mean, there's teams in cap hell still making moves and extending players and signing free agency. And Duke's sleeping, Mike's sleeping, Katie's sleeping. They're all just napping. Everybody
signing all of our guys pretty much.
Yeah, I mean,
I think somebody said it on Twitter and said like Duke had said we're not going to we want a completely different defense, and it's like all we're doing is resigning a lot of.
We're going to have the same exact defense next year that we did last year. Because
I think Trey's gonna be back, in my opinion.
I think we're gonna be a little bit better defensively on the, stopping the run because of TJ Slayton. We'll talk about him. He was ESPN's #1 ranked run defender last year, which is heavy for us. We need that considering how bad our run defense was, which really took away from a lot of other. It could easily run on us, which set up, play action. And we had more guys in the box, and I think even Lou wanted to run at times. But, Golden wants to run a traditional 4-3 from what I've heard. So I'm not a fan of a 4-3. I'd rather do, 4-2-5.
I thought you had said it still would look similar to Lou's. Or is it
not
now anymore?
No, I've heard 4-3. So 3 down linebackers.
That's
– I mean, I don't know. It just depends what we do. We'll see it, come spring training. Not spring training. That's baseball. Shit. OTAs and shit like that.
Camp.
Training camp. Yeah, that's what it was. Training camp. We got baseball going on.
So you think Slayton's like a starter, or you think it's just like the run packages?
I think Slayton will be. I think Slayton will be a starter. I think it'll be him and Jenkins or him and Hill. Yeah,
because BJ on a 3-year deal.
BJ
is back.
I will be a starter with Slayton.
I honestly didn't think BJ would be back.
Jenkins and Jackson will rotate, in and out. For the edge rushers, I couldn't tell you. I don't know what our plan is.
Size back.
Nobody knows the Bengals plan as of right now. We
Miles
have
Murphy.
As of right now, we don't know who's going to be left in, who's going to be right in. We don't know if Trey's going to be here. We don't know if Murphy's going to start. We don't know who we're going to draft first or second round with these pass rushers in this draft class. It's going to be hard to say on the defensive line front. Now, linebacker-wise, we did just sign Oren Burks from, the Eagles. He filled in great for Nakobe Dean down that playoff stretch. I mean, I thought he played great. You watched his highlights and stuff.
He's fast, hard
yeah,
hitter.
That's what we need.
I think in that playoff run, or maybe it was before, like when Nakobe got hurt, he forced like 2 fumbles in one game or something.
Yeah, he's got the instincts to be really good in the right defense, and I think Al Golden can run the right defense. Speak like our corners. We brought back Marco Wilson and Samaje Perine. Those are our other 2 signings. I like Marco Wilson. I like what he brought last year. He showed some physicality.
Man to man, he's aggressive. Which can be bad, but it was good for us down the stretch.
I think
a lot of our D-back room was.
I think he's the type of player that the more he's on the field, the more comfortable
he's going to be. Like
the
the 5th, 6th guy, because you got Dax, DJ, Juice. Maybe they draft a guy. You don't know how the Bengals are going to draft. We
never
always
know.
do these mocks, and we think this is what they should do.
They never end up doing it.
They go completely different. Yeah, but I like the addition of bringing back Marco Wilson. I thought he thought with us.
I like it
Perine,
too.
We know we're getting from Perine. Physical. I guess that's their physical back, unless there's somebody out there.
I mean, we still have Zach Moss as of right now.
I guess.
Khalil Herbert signed with the Colts as of an hour ago. But I mean, you look at it and you look at our running backs. You do question like what role is I think Chase Brown's the obvious starter
for sure.
But they said bigger back, and I mean, do you want to bring back Zach Moss? Not bring him back, but just keep him on roster, or do you want to move to P Ryan, who you know exactly what he brings? I mean, or you just keep all three, which I'm kind of guessing they do.
I think we're gonna figure that all out when it comes draft time.
Yeah,
I think he could see us taking a running back in between like 3 and
I think
5.
Yeah, 3 and 4. I see that as well. I mean, if
they get a guy they like and he does well in camp, maybe Zach will get cut after like training camp.
I mean, we had combine.
I would like the 3 to be those 3. Zach.
I would be fine with those 3.
Good, P Ryan.
Moss showed some potential pass.
We just need somebody else to like get some snaps because after like that second half of the year, Chase Brown was everything.
Yeah,
for us. And
I mean,
like, all right,
think about it.
Need a breather.
We start week 11 and he had almost 1,000 yards.
Yeah,
week 9 or 11, one of the two, almost had 1,000 yards. Which, if he didn't get hurt, he would have had 1,000 easily. Yeah. He's only 9 yards away.
Yeah,
which is insane. But I mean, now you sit here and you look at it and you're like, okay, well, what are we going to do draft time? Well, we're going to be drafting for needs again, which is horrible because we just completely fuck up everything in the free agent department. But I mean, right now, I saw that Cameron Wolf reported that the Bengals won a first rounder for Trey. I'm glad you're aiming high, but your best suitor was the Commanders, who just traded with the Texans to get Larry Tunsil. They just gave up the 3rd round pick. So now your options are kind of falling short because I don't see the Commanders giving up that much draft capital. And they just got a left tackle, who can start.
Yeah, I think they're running out of teams. I think the only other 2 teams maybe is probably the Colts or the
Eagles.
Falcons, maybe the Eagles too. Those 3. If not, I think they meet in the middle somewhere, hopefully, and just agree on maybe like a 1-year extension.
Yeah,
I don't know, because if he just stays on, like, I think he might actually hold out, but I don't know. He says he wants to stay in Cincy. Like the BJ Hill stuff just came out, and he said
he's pretty adamant about Cincinnati.
He wants to stay in Cincy, so they can, like, if Trey's here in his market and here, and like maybe he's only, I think we meet in the middle and he stays, and that's what I hope.
It's going to be hard to meet in the
right
middle
now he's just after last year and like seeing what he would be paid, and then he's going to come back to the Bengals and say this is what I offer, and they just meet in the middle, hopefully, because I think we're running out of options. And the Bengals, if we want to compete and win the Super Bowl next year, our best option is to keep Trey on the team.
And
a second rounder, Bengals have not been good drafting. A second rounder is not probably going to do it.
And that's the most frustrating part about free agency right now is that we are abysmal at drafting. We are horrible at drafting. Like Burrow fell into our laps, Chase fell into our laps. Chase Brown was a good pick, but I mean, we didn't know what he had. He had a fumbling issue at Illinois.
Like the 2020 draft, like Logan was a good pick. T obviously, like I think after that, besides like the Jamar slam.
I mean, you got to think T Higgins fell into our laps
Hall was
too.
A good pick, but we see what the risk was. He got hurt again, sadly. But like we haven't like helped. We're not good at developing these guys. Like these guys, I don't know. Miles, maybe that was a problem with Lou, and he wasn't playing the younger guys. But maybe if Miles had been playing more, maybe he'd have better stats and look better and progress better.
See, I'm a little indifferent about Miles. I just don't think he's the guy. I don't in the league that we're in right now. I just don't think he can.
You don't think Miles is?
That's just me, though. I think I lean more towards Osai than I do Murphy. Just based on what I've seen on the field, I don't think Murphy brings a lot. I hope he proves me wrong. I've always said I always want players to prove me wrong when I say shit about them. But I mean, that being said, when he did touch the field last year, he didn't look impressive to me.
No. Yeah, you're right. I mean, that goes into the whole trade thing too. It's like if we want to win a Super Bowl next year.
My thing is like we can do better than Trey.
Like we can.
Age wise, Trey is really bad in run defense. I mean, he's really bad. He's strictly downhill towards quarterback.
What do you want for next year then? If without Trey, like
without Trey? I mean, I want
say they trade him to one of those 3 teams for like they don't end up getting the first, they get a second and like a 4th or something, and they trade like their 5th and Trey.
Well, I mean, it just depends on who's available when it comes draft time. Now,
and that's what I'm saying. Now we're relying on the draft.
That's the problem. Well, we already let all the good pass rushers go,
and that's why I said we can't let it go to Trey at this point.
It does become that, Same it's becoming like that in the guard market.
Win the Super Bowl. That's our only like right now. The roster is pretty much the same. TJ Slayton,
but you need someone across from Trey.
You have no pass rush.
And Trey's a right in.
Yeah.
Murphy is a right end.
Mm-hmm.
Murphy can't do anything on that left end.
No.
So at what point do you have to find a left end? You have to. Osai might be that guy.
Miles got any value? They ain't going to, but
ain't gonna trade Miles Murphy. But that's why you go into the draft and you need a pass rusher like Pierce or Green or Scorton or I can't even think of his name from Ole Miss, but you just
Nolan.
No,
the
edge wise. I think the defensive tackle room will be fine, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I think it will be fine. My big thing is just setting the outside.
I want one more defensive. I want a guy like Larry, but I know he just went. But
that's the problem.
Need that type of guy, but I think they're gonna wait, probably try to get this guard figured out, and then obviously still working on the T and
edge right now, linebacker, and guard. I'm right top three. I'd say in order.
Right now, I think
guard
is
guard
one
and
priority
and linebacker.
I think right now it's what is it, Tevin Jenkins or maybe Will Hernandez? I think. I
think at this point I just tweeted it a couple hours ago, like half hour ago. At this point, you have to overpay for Jenkins if you want him because there's suitors of the Seahawks and the Giants are in on him, and the Giants are going to spend big money, and the Seahawks have spent quite a bit of money in free agency already. Also, so you got to overpay for him if you want him to come to Cincy and protect Burrow. But
for sure,
history tells you, that's just not what the Bengals are going to do. They're more interested in winning,
Because I know Brandon Scherff's also still available, but he's on the older side, so it'd probably be like
so is Zeitler. I wish we would. Zeitler's durable.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's going to come down
right
to.
Now, I think you got to get Jenkins.
Yeah, you have to, or you're going into the draft needing a starting quality guard, and I don't think Booker lasts to pick 17. I don't want to take a guard in the first 20 picks, but at that point, you're kind of left with options of Booker or an edge.
Part of me thinks if they're going to go Jenkins and then draft, like we were talking about before the show, draft and have Cody Ford and that draft pick battle it out.
I'm fine. If you get Jenkins, I want him to be, the right guard. And then whoever we draft, I want them to battle it out with Ford at left guard. I think Ford can be a quality left guard starting wise. I think he looked good before Orlando Brown got hurt. I think he can really develop there, especially with Scott Peters is our offensive line. I think he'll do great, things with this offensive line. It's just you have to put the right pieces in play. And the Bengals are, again, relying on drafting when we have 4 scouts on the payroll. It's a recipe for disaster. And if I'm anyone, and I also, outside free agents are looking at like, they can't get deals done with Jamar, they can't get deals done with T, they couldn't get deals done with Bates, they can't get a deal. DJ Reader, Trey Hendrickson, they can't get these deals done. Why would I want to go there? And then when my time is come to extend, why would I want to go through the hassle?
Yeah.
Why would I want to be undervalued in a situation? And again, the report card was good football operation wise, but the treatment of families was bad. The cafeteria was bad. Players look into that shit. Free agents.
That's like the most, starts with your family.
Yeah, free agents look at that shit.
Your nutrition, like we were talking about, they're eating.
And money talks, and we're cheap as fuck.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
It sucks.
I tweeted it, they've owned Mike Brown has owned the team since 1991. He has 5 playoff wins since 91. Joe Burrow's every single one of those wins.
Yep.
Every single one of them since 91. Burrow was drafted in 2019 or 2020.
2020, yeah.
At what point are you going to change the way you operate?
You would think they'd wake up, huh?
You think they would have woke up with Palmer?
Yeah.
Now people are sitting back and looking at Palmer like, damn.
Like I said,
maybe he was right. I will say, Palmer's situation was different. He wanted money thrown at the offensive line that he had, like his MVP caliber year in Cincinnati. His offensive line didn't change that much.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Mike Brown and them are cheap as fuck.
Yep.
Burrow has in free agency said, I want Mike Gesicki. Well, he stayed, got that done. He wants Trey.
Took the Burrow tax.
Trey's not getting done. Higgins should have been done. Don't know why it's not.
It should have been done for the league.
Chase, I think Chase is probably waiting for Parsons to sign.
Yeah, we know we're on the waiting game for Chase.
And, you see that, graphic out there of the Bengals could have had Bates, Higgins, Chase, Hendrickson, all at this price.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just, you look at that. If I'm Duke, Mike Brown, K. Blackburn, I would throw the fuck up if I saw that.
Be like, hey, this makes me want to do better. And
they don't care.
No,
they just don't.
And this is like the
city
cares so much.
I really don't understand how you had way better of offensive line play with Andy Dalton at quarterback than you do with Joe Burrow at quarterback. No disrespect to Andy Dalton. I love him and I love what he did for this team.
Back with the Panthers.
But you have Joe Burrow top 2 in the league, in my opinion. He's probably the most accurate quarterback I've seen in my lifetime besides Breeze and Brady.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Yeah. Dish out money.
That, like I was saying, the only time they really showed us that was that big first class that kind of moved this team into a different phase.
With Mike Hilton, DJ, Trey Hendrickson, DJ Reader,
Von Bell, that he was in that one too.
Yeah, I mean that's when I got season tickets, and that's when I was like,
right,
Mike Brown changed.
With Joe Burrow.
They're gonna do something. Bamboozled.
After that offseason, I mean, they've made smaller moves that they think they're like,
minuscule moves.
Like, we believe in this guy. We're like,
you have to.
You could have done better for a little more.
I don't understand
up a little more.
How I don't have a degree in, finance or economics. Troy Blackburn does, and he has fucked this team up.
Yeah.
I don't know how you botch so many contracts and negotiations, and Katie and Mike. And I really don't want to blame Duke, but I mean, he is our untitled general manager.
Yeah.
It leaves you speechless as a Bengals fan because you're like, holy shit, we have all these pieces. And the front office refuses to get better. They refuse to sign their guys. They want Burrow to put up 50.
Like multiple fans and like us, like everyone says, great front offices would have paid those guys like that.
They would have already had it done. Already would have had it done.
Already had these guys extended. It's like, that's what great teams do.
Yep.
Like great franchises. Sorry, like the front office.
We're just not that.
Because we have great teams. We don't have a great front office.
Oh, we always have great players roll through here, but
we're like a farm system for the other bigger market teams.
Yeah, and I don't understand it, and I never will. I mean, Mike Brown's coming on 89 years old. I mean, he doesn't know how much time he has. Nobody ever does, but I mean, you're getting up to that age. Don't you want a Super Bowl win?
Yeah.
Don't you want to change your ways?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Katie, this is your grandfather founded this team, founded modern day football. Don't you want to be successful? No, they're too
big. Get back to where we were.
All they want is their pocketbooks, man. That's all they care about is the money in their pocket, and I'm convinced of it. They just, I don't know, man. It's disgusting the way they operate. It really is.
It sucks, man.
It really does suck, and nobody cares.
And you see,
the Bengals aren't going to sit here and watch this podcast and change their ways.
No.
But I need someone to vent to. I mean, this is my vent tank. But
you see, like the Commanders, like obviously different situation of why he had to sell, but they sold, and now they have an owner that cares. And look at what they're doing. Like they did last season, they brought in a bunch of pieces to build around Jaden Daniels. They got into the NFC Championship, and now they're like, oh, all right, and they just keep adding, and they keep adding. They were trying to be in the Myles Garrett sweepstakes. They reported were trying to be in the Trey Hendrickson, and it's like they're making all these great moves in the front. Like their owner cares. They have an owner that cares. It's like we have Joe Burrow, the greatest quarterback in Bengals history, and we're not going to do anything.
No, and I don't see how we make a playoff run with this current roster.
No.
Even with the rookies that come in, I mean, you'll be blessed if one of them turns out to be a superstar.
Yeah. And just for them to walk in 4 years.
Yeah.
Because we're going to go through all this where they're probably going to tag that player. We're going to get our hopes up and think they might stay.
I mean, think about it, man. Like, you have Trey Hendrickson, a guy who wants to be in Cincinnati, has made it very public.
I mean, he had a big his last year with the Saints. He had a big year, but
he's made it very public he wants to stay in Cincinnati, and you can't get a deal done. T. Higgins has made it public. He changed agents. Mm-hmm. He said he would take less money, and you can't get a deal done. I get it, Chase. Duke said publicly you're going to make Chase the highest paid non-quarterback. Now you set yourself up for disaster with that one because Garrett got paid. And you should have had Chase paid already before that deal ever went through.
Yeah, I was just trying to think, like, who would you want to sign, like, right now? Like, what do you want us to go out and do right now? Like, I think we both agree on Tevin Jenkins for sure. I was trying to think what else we really want. I want them to get another 3-tech power, like a rusher at D tackle. But I was trying to look at.
If Ojulari, I mean, I don't think you could still target him.
They can still target. I don't think they will though.
No, they won't. No,
unless they start hearing stuff about Trey, like, and they might trade him. Then maybe. But yeah, I'm trying to. What else do we really need? D tackle. Like, obviously we have a bunch of needs, but
I would say wide receiver, a wide receiver 4.
Obviously Tevin, a wide receiver 4. You think?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know what Burton's going to be like.
Yeah,
we don't know how that's going to go.
Yeah. They said they believe in him. They're going to keep him.
I wouldn't be upset to signing Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, right.
For super cheap.
Yeah, right.
For some teams super cheap. Oh yeah, Patriots are going to pay him. Patriots have no choice.
Patriots won in number 1. They were in the DK. They were trying to get DK.
Yeah, they have no choice but to sign
Brown. Cooper Kupp. I don't think AJ was going to leave the Eagles. It would be cool for him to team up with Mike again, but.
I mean, you think Burrow would be enough for free agents to want to come here, but
I think some of them, but. Like, some of them are like, we see your ownership. I mean, the money.
That's the thing. Like, treatment of families is pretty piss poor. You can't get deals done with your star players.
It goes down that much because I don't remember it being that bad the year before. So we've been doing this for a couple of years, so we talked about it last year.
I don't think it was an F last year.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how it goes down so much. Like, what do you do?
But it's crazy. Like, our coaching staff got an A. Like, a lot of the football operation shit got an A.
Yeah.
Outside of, like, ownership. But commitment to winning wasn't. I think that was a C.
You would think seeing that report card would be enough to
and that
wake you up and be like, hey, I should do something different.
Burrow coming out publicly would make me it would set a fire under my ass.
Yeah,
but it's also an ego driven thing. I think Mike Brown and them have such a high, like, big ego. Like, I have to win this negotiation. Like, I have to. Why win a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
If you win a Super Bowl, you'll win way more negotiations down the stretch.
Yep.
If you just commit to winning, you'll win negotiations. Team players do want to win. I mean, Myles Garrett really threw me for a fucking loop with that one because I thought he really wanted to win, but money talks, like I said.
Do you think we bring back Mike? Probably not.
Hilton?
Yeah.
No. And you look at, like, Asante Samuel Jr., he's still a free agent. You could target him.
I would like Asante, but some teams probably going to pay him.
Tevin Jenkins, you have to.
Was balling for the Bills last time.
Mekhi Becton, neither sides are in on it. Calais Campbell, go. I mean, that's another good one. James Rapine really liked him last year. I like Calais Campbell.
Yeah, a lot of these, I mean, you get into, like, the nitty-gritty where they're all just older. I mean, this guy, he's younger, but... Like, that's like Josh Uche. I don't know how to say it. That's why I didn't want to say it. Josh Uche.
Tyler Lockett would actually be a really good wide receiver 4 to kind of sit in front.
Was another guard.
But Burton.
Carl Lawson returns. What a drop off. Boyd, bring back Boyd.
Bring back Boyd. Can't get his number back unless Eric Hall gives it up, but
bring back Boyd for a year.
Boyd versus 3.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Yeah, I mean, that's what EJ Speed. I mean, that's what I want to do. Like, what are they going to do at linebacker? I mean, is Pratt just going to stay?
I would have thought something would have been done with him already, but
it's Pratt because they said they want to put a vet by Logan. I mean, is Oren the vet? I thought he was more of like a special, like the ADG role since he left.
I don't know. Do you want to run through
in mock
draft?
Yeah, let's do it.
So I do like running through these.
See if our fans want to interact and comment. See what
fans. I think they're just rolling by the show. I don't think we have fans.
Sorry,
not even our wives and fiance are fans.
That's true.
I did have Chantel do that mock draft the other night, though, and she did pretty well.
They loved it on Twitter. I had a good one the other day.
Pick 17, we got, you got Tyler Booker, Jalen Walker, James Pierce Jr.
Did he shoot up the boards? I didn't think he was that projected that high.
Who?
Tyler Booker.
No, but he's the best guard in the draft, and I think he's pretty good. Me personally, I'm going to draft Pierce. I mean, he's going to be dynamic.
Like James Pierce. Who's the linebacker I keep talking about from Alabama that I like?
Jahad Campbell. He probably went early, though.
Yeah, the same.
He went a pick before us, too.
Oh, that's the worst. That's going to be my guy. I think I want if we don't get a linebacker.
Walter Nolan's available at pick 49.
Really?
We got Kenneth
Did he
Grant.
fall?
Yeah, Kenneth Grant.
This stuff made him fall.
Carson Schwarzenegger, that linebacker we've talked about.
Yeah.
Deion Walker from Kentucky's still here.
They were worried about his back.
Tate Ratledge.
They were worried about his back.
At this point in time, I might just draft Tate just because of needs.
Who else was at the top? Or are you saying like in right now?
Based off of free agency, how it's going, Tate Ratledge is going to be the pick.
It's hard to pass on one of those tackles.
It is, but I'm saying like off of needs. I mean, right now we need a starting right guard. Yeah. And if we were to sign, Deion Walker's still here. Alfred Collins is not going to be a 3 tech, but.
Were you thinking about Jared Ivey, Roy?
No.
Or is there a better one? You like Chris Paul Jr.?
Jared Ivey right here.
I know you like Chris Paul Jr.
I do like Chris Paul Jr. because we do need a linebacker. Like I said, I do think our defensive tackle group will be fine.
You think so?
Yeah. I'm going to draft Chris Paul Jr. because, we do need a linebacker.
Because right now,
Jack Sawyer really fell to the 3rd round.
Right. Yeah, he had a bad combine. Right now, the only difference on our D tackle room is TJ Slayton, and he's just a run stopper.
Yeah, you got to think McKinley Jackson didn't play that bad, though.
They'll develop, I guess, and hopefully play better, but I don't think neither of them are really. Which one's really pass rusher? McKinley? I know Chris
Jenkins, I guess.
Chris is more.
None of them are really
pass
rushers.
We need a pass rusher. We need
I think I looked at Jordan Phillips a little bit.
Oh, we're doing 7 round. Keep forgetting you're not on PFF.
I'm not going to pay for 7 rounds.
True. I got to start learning some of these guys' names in the later rounds, try to find some steals. But you have no idea who the Bengals eyeing this late in the draft.
Yeah.
You looking at Jordan Phillips still?
Jordan Phillips, yeah. That is explosive, which we kind of need that off the defensive line.
Then take him.
Jordan Phillips from Maryland. Welcome to Cincinnati.
Welcome to the jungle, baby.
We've texted every draft player or player we've drafted since 2020 on our Twitter, and Drew Christmas is the only player to ever respond, which he wasn't a draft pick, but
is he?
He was the only player. He's the only player to ever respond to us.
Because he knows us.
Well, I said Lawrenceburg boys because we're from Lawrenceburg, and so is he. So
he knows us. We gotta get him on a pod. Some people don't like that.
A lot of people don't like
Christmas antics. It's all right. I just think it would be a good first interview. Get people.
Riley Mills, defensive tackle for Notre Dame. Al Golden's boy.
Oh, speaking of Lawrenceburg, can we talk about Mason?
How
he's working out at the Michigan Pro Day.
Yeah, I hope he does something. I think he could.
Undrafted Bengals, undrafted free agent. Unless he actually does really well. I hope he's drafted, but I'm saying if for some reason no one wants to draft him. I always wanted him to go play football. Obviously, he was better at wrestling, but football is just the better sport to watch and root for him.
He was pretty good. He led Indiana in tackles, I think, in 2019. No, 2018.
Yeah,
2018.
Yeah.
So we got James Pierce Jr., Tate Ratledge, Chris Paul Jr., Jordan Phillips, Riley Mills, and Corey Kiner.
Corey Kiner at the end.
Yeah, I got to slip it on running back here.
I'm still a little upset Corleone went back. Yeah,
see, Dante Corleone going back doesn't sit right with me, man. It really doesn't. I really wanted him. But I doubt the Bengals would even draft him in the first place, just because we
he'd probably go to like Pittsburgh or something anyway.
Yeah,
and ball out. It would suck.
But I mean, this is a good draft in my eyes.
I like it.
But again, like I only took Ratledge at 49 because we haven't made a move for guard yet in free agency, which
we're waiting
on, and we need.
Bengals need something. Bengals fans need something.
Jenkins, man, like we need Tevin.
Give us
Tevin.
Give us Tevin. Maybe give us someone else too.
Will we get Tevin? Probably not. But
yeah, probably not. They'll go after some like smaller guy we really barely heard of. We're taking a shot on a guy with injury history or something. Yeah,
that's just how it's gonna go.
Yeah, I mean that's all I really got.
That's all I've got today. I mean, I didn't crash out as bad as I wanted to, really, because dude, I've been so pissed, man. As each player gets signed that I wanted, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
and it's like,
sucks.
Bengals want this, Bengals want that. Bengals don't. They need this. They need that. Like, they don't overpay. Throw some money out there. Do something.
Yeah,
sitting on their behinds, man. Like, I don't know. I'm not running the team, but I feel like it'd be a fairly easy job to get done right now, considering your available cash and your cap space.
Yeah.
Just get the deals done.
For sure.
I mean, you have to accommodate to your players. And if you accommodate to your players, you're going to win games, which accommodates your whole, whole.
Yeah.
It's just so hard being a Bengals fan and a Reds fan.
Man's so upset. Reds will be good this year.
I just want to win. That's all it is. It's like I want to win. 2021 was so good. But, we have fans crashing out. I'm trying not to. But it's just the life we live as a Bengals fan in free agency. I mean,
Bengals were in top 7 in the home attendance.
Well, that's going to drop.
Look at you guys go. Well, pardon me too. Was it 3 games this year, I think? That's the I'm best friends with all of you guys. If one of you guys are sick or something, hey.
I missed 1 game in
Can I get the ticket?
4 years. So,
yeah.
It's pretty good.
That was a big game, though.
Well, I mean,
yeah, I know.
I had family stuff, so.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have missed it. My dad told me to go, but
I really wanted you to. Like, just tell you. Go. Get your mind off things at the time.
But. Yeah, but I mean, I spent time with my family, and then I went to my dad's house and watched it with them. So, I mean, no harm, no foul in that. We were watching the game, and I was like, it's kind of weird, like watching a Bengals game at home.
It's the Broncos game, by the way, guys.
Yeah, it was the Broncos. Yeah, in the season,
the big game.
I was like, it's just so weird watching a Bengals game at home while they're home. Like, I'm like, this is. I
should be there.
I was like, this is like my thing.
This isn't my home on Sundays.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not, like
home
this.
The jungle on Sundays.
Yeah, but
football season.
Football is, big part of my life. But also, you have to realize, other shit comes before that. So,
for sure,
that's the shitty part. I was like, I plan on never missing a game. But everyone goes through it. So. Shit like that. I hear doors going out there. I know Chantel's home. Probably going on a walk without us or something. All right, guys. That's all we got today. We will be back. I don't know. Maybe
this weekend, probably.
Maybe this weekend.
Probably at least. I mean,
hopefully we can get the other guys. If the Bengals make moves, we'll be back.
Yeah.
If they don't make moves, you'll see us next week.
Yeah.
For sure. But it just depends on what they do.
Yeah.
And as it's sitting right now, we probably will be back next week. not anytime this week or this weekend. It will probably be next week. That's my guess. All right. We'll see you guys.
Hopefully next week.